What could drive 9 seasoned hikers to flee their tent in sub-zero temperatures without their gear or clothes? Welcome to the chilling mystery of the Dyatlov Pass incident. In the icy heart of Russia's Ural Mountains, the year is 1959. A group of intrepid adventurers embarks on a journey that will forever be etched in the annals of unexplained phenomena. These 9 skilled hikers, all experienced in the harsh conditions of winter expeditions, met an inexplicable fate that continues to baffle investigators and enthusiasts. The circumstances? Puzzling. Their tent was found abandoned, torn open from the inside, their belongings left behind. Their bodies were discovered scattered across the snowy landscape, some almost a mile from their campsite, none appropriately dressed for the brutal Russian winter. A flurry of questions swirls around this chilling mystery, each more perplexing than the last. What happened on that fateful night at Dyatlov Pass? What could have provoked such panic, such terror? Join us as we delve into the chilling chronology of events that unfolded during that ill-fated expedition. On January 25, 1959, a group of 9 experienced hikers embarked on a journey towards the Ural Mountains. Led by Igor Dyatlov, a 23-year-old radio engineering student, the group was composed of 7 men and 2 women, all from the Ural Polytechnic Institute. Their goal was ambitious: to reach the peak of Otorten Mountain, a feat considered challenging even for seasoned climbers. As they plunged into the heart of the Siberian wilderness, they carried with them the buoyant spirit of adventure and the camaraderie of shared endeavor. Their last communication was a postcard sent to their sports club, promising to return around February 12th. But the world outside their snowy trek remained oblivious to the impending disaster. The hikers were stepping into the pages of history, not as conquerors of Otorten Mountain, but as victims of an enduring mystery that decades later continues to baffle investigators and enthusiasts alike. Little did they know, this would be their last adventure. Fast forward to February 26th, the team's camp was discovered, but the hikers were nowhere to be found. The first thing to strike the search party was the eerie silence that hung over the campsite. The once vibrant and lively camp was now an abandoned shell, a ghostly tableau frozen in time. It was a chilling sight. The tent, the lifeline of the expedition, was empty. The hikers were gone, vanished as if plucked from the face of the earth. But the strangest part was the tent itself. It wasn't simply unzipped or left open, it was slashed open from the inside. Inside the tent, remnants of the expedition's last moments were scattered about. Personal belongings, equipment, even their footwear all left behind. It was as if they had fled in such haste that they didn't have time to put on their boots or grab their gear. Imagine the terror of rushing out into the biting cold of the Ural Mountains, underdressed and unprepared, leaving your only shelter behind. The scene painted a picture of panic, of urgency. The cut from the inside suggested a desperate escape. But escape from what? What could have been so terrifying that 9 experienced hikers chose to face the brutal Siberian winter in bare feet, rather than stay inside the safety of their tent? It was a question that hung heavy in the frigid air, and it was only the beginning. As the search party moved through the camp, the mystery only deepened. Food was left uneaten, indicating a sudden departure. The stove was ready to be lit, suggesting they had been about to settle in for the night. Yet despite these clues, the whereabouts and fate of the 9 hikers remained unknown. The abandoned camp was a puzzle, a collection of oddities and anomalies that refused to form a coherent picture. The search party was left scratching their heads, their breath forming clouds of confusion in the icy air. What happened to the hikers remained a mystery until the bodies started to appear. One by one, the bodies of the hikers were found, each discovery more puzzling than the last. In the aftermath of the abandoned camp's discovery, a grim search began. The first 2 bodies were found near a makeshift fire, their final resting place a stark contrast to the biting chill of the surrounding landscape. Their lack of clothing was alarming, to say the least. Barefoot and dressed only in their underwear, it was clear that they'd been ill-prepared for the harsh Siberian weather. The evident signs of hypothermia suggested a desperate attempt to keep warm, and yet their fire had long since died out. The next 3 bodies were found scattered across the snow, each one lying at various distances between the camp and the fire. Their state was no less unsettling. Like their companions by the fire, these hikers were also inadequately dressed for the sub-zero temperatures, their bodies showing the unmistakable signs of hypothermia. It appeared as though they had been trying to return to the camp, but the brutal cold had claimed them before they could reach safety. The positioning of the bodies painted a disturbing picture. It seemed that the hikers had fled their camp in a state of panic, leaving behind their belongings and braving the cold in their undergarments. But what could have spurred such a desperate flight into the frigid wilderness? It was a question that loomed heavily over the investigators, adding another layer of complexity to an already baffling case. The conditions of the bodies, their locations, and the lack of any immediate explanation were perplexing. The investigators were left with more questions than answers. Why had the hikers left their camp so ill-prepared? What had caused them to meet such a tragic end? And why did their actions suggest such fear and desperation? The Dyatlov Pass incident was shaping up to be an enigma wrapped in a riddle buried under a thick blanket of snow. And as the search continued, the mysteries only deepened. The pieces of the puzzle were falling into place, but they weren't forming a picture that anyone could make sense of. But the strangest was yet to come. 2 months later, the final 4 hikers were found, and their state only deepened the mystery. The force of nature had claimed the ravine as its own, concealing the last piece of this perplexing puzzle. The bodies of the final 4 hikers were found, not scattered like the others, but together in a makeshift den they had seemingly carved into the snow. The state in which these bodies were discovered was perplexing to say the least. Unlike their fellow hikers, whose deaths had been attributed to hypothermia, these 4 showed signs of traumatic injuries. One would expect that, given the severity of their injuries, there would be external signs, wounds that painted a picture of their struggle. But there were none. One hiker had a fractured skull, severe enough to cause death, yet there were no visible wounds, no blood, no signs of a struggle. 2 others bore similar injuries, with multiple ribs broken, yet again, there was an eerie absence of external wounds. The body seemed to tell a tale of intense internal trauma, with no trace of what had caused it. The 4th hiker, the only woman among the last 4, was found with her tongue missing, a horrifying detail that only added to the growing list of unanswerable questions. Was it removed by a person, an animal, or could it have decomposed while the body lay undiscovered? The answers remain elusive. In the face of such baffling evidence, the investigators were left with more questions than answers. What could cause such injuries yet leave no external trace? Why did the hikers abandon the safety of their tent, only to meet such a gruesome fate? And why were these 4 found so far from the others, in a ravine, huddled together in a desperate attempt to survive? The mystery of what happened on Dyatlov Pass deepened, giving birth to numerous theories. The enigma of the Dyatlov Pass incident continues to captivate and confound us, a chilling reminder of the untamed power and unpredictability of nature. From secret military experiments to alien encounters, the theories around the Dyatlov Pass incident are as mysterious as the event itself. One of the earliest and perhaps most straightforward theories posits that an avalanche was the culprit behind the hikers' untimely demise. The brutal force of an avalanche could indeed account for the severe injuries some of the hikers sustained. However, this theory fails to explain why the hikers fled their tent without proper clothing, or why no evidence of an avalanche was found at the scene. Another theory suggests that a phenomenon known as infrasound may have been responsible. Infrasound is a low-frequency sound that can induce feelings of fear and panic in humans. Some speculate that the wind flowing over the nearby Kolatsiakal mountain may have produced this infrasound, driving the hikers into a state of irrational fear and causing them to flee their tent. Yet, this theory also falls short, as it doesn't account for the severe injuries and the strange state of the bodies. The involvement of the military is another theory that has been circulating for years. Some believe that the hikers might have stumbled upon a secret military testing site, leading to their unfortunate end. This theory could potentially explain the hikers' strange injuries and the reports of glowing orbs seen in the sky around the time of the incident. But again, concrete evidence supporting this theory is lacking. Lastly, we have the theory of extraterrestrial interference. Proponents of this theory point to the aforementioned glowing orbs and the hikers' unexplainable injuries as evidence of an alien encounter. However, this theory, like the others, is purely speculative and lacks solid proof. Yet none of these theories fully explain the bizarre circumstances of the Dyatlov Pass incident. As we delve deeper into this enigma, we are left with more questions than answers. But perhaps that's what makes the mystery of Dyatlov Pass so enduring and captivating. Despite numerous investigations and scientific studies, the Dyatlov Pass incident remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of the 20th century, This chilling event, which unfolded in the icy wilderness of the Ural Mountains, has captivated the imaginations of researchers, historians, and thrill-seekers alike for over 6 decades. The story of the 9 hikers, who set out on an expedition only to meet a tragic and unexplained end, continues to intrigue us. We've revisited their journey from the moment they embarked on their adventure to the unsettling discovery of their abandoned camp. We've explored the unsettling circumstances surrounding their deaths, the inexplicable state of their bodies, and the eerie silence of their final resting place. We've delved into the numerous theories that have attempted to explain the inexplicable, from avalanches and hypothermia to more outlandish ideas involving secret military tests or even extraterrestrial encounters. Yet, none have been able to conclusively solve this enigma, each leaving more questions than answers. This enduring fascination with the Dyatlov Pass incident isn't just about the mystery itself, it's also about what it represents. A stark reminder of our own vulnerability in the face of nature's unpredictable power, and the unknown dangers that lurk in the wilderness. It's a testament to our insatiable curiosity, our relentless pursuit for answers, and our collective fascination with the unexplained. The Dyatlov Pass incident has also left a significant imprint on popular culture. It has inspired numerous books, films, and documentaries, each attempting to shed light on this enduring mystery. It's become a symbol of the human spirit's resilience and our ceaseless quest for truth, even in the face of the inexplicable and the unknown. Until the Dyatlov Pass incident is conclusively solved, it remains a chilling reminder of the unknown dangers that lie in the wilderness. It's a haunting tale, a gripping puzzle, and above all, an unresolved enigma that continues to challenge, intrigue, and captivate us.